What's up? Rob here, Old City Vapors, the OCV channel, back with another. Oh, it's another story. It's story time. When I started this channel, it was all like vaping reviews and stuff. Then I started doing Weird Wednesday, where I would tell stories about, paranormal and this and that, true stuff that happened to me, and just weird stories. And I did, I don't know, like 80 of those, and I haven't done them in a long time. People keep, I get an email every once in a while or a text message. Hey, man, you should do more stories. You should tell stories. We love hearing your stories. All right. So that's where this one's going. It's story time. This one has to do, I've been posting videos about records and albums and stuff. Made an Instagram and a Facebook post yesterday about this album right here, TSOL, True Sounds of Liberty, Hit and Run. And that's what this story time is going to be about. I just picked this album up, found it online, and it was an original. It was still sealed, and it has the little cut in it right up there. And that generally means that it was in a record store somewhere and it didn't sell. It wasn't selling. So they do that cut thing and, it gets discounted. I guess they get a credit or something for it. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works, but that's what I believe anyways. That's what I'm sticking to. Anyway, good album. I don't know why it didn't sell, but there's the guys on the back, minus the glare and the blur. TSOL, Hit and Run. Came out in 1987. And I think this album may have reached like 187 in the Billboard, like top 200 albums or something. And there's all kinds of stories about TSOL. True Sounds of Liberty. So everybody was like, what does it stand for? Well, it says on the album, True Sounds of Liberty. And they're like, no, it means tough shit and out of luck. Well, the case of this band may be that at times, because there's like a lot of history with this band, a lot of different members on and off. And, but I don't know. I loved them. Great band. This is a good album. And the story about this album, when I saw it, I was like, oh, dude, I got to order this. I don't know. I paid like $10 for it or something. And I got it in, and I was playing it yesterday, and I was like, oh, man, brought back memories, And one of those memories is this. Oh, man. A little coffee this morning. I went to see these guys. They were playing in Jacksonville, Florida. And I can't remember what bar, club, or whatever it was. It was the Milk Bar, or I can't remember. Go figure. But I do remember this. I went and saw them. They put on an awesome show, rocked the roof off the place, blew the roof off the place. Great show. And afterwards, everybody's like, it's the typical club scene, it's like hot and smoky, like different smoky smells going on. And, everybody's jammed in there. I mean, the place was packed to just like, it was totally like elbow to elbow jammed in there. So after the show, I bail. I'm sitting at the bar. And, people are milling around in the bar, and hanging out. And this guy comes up, sits next to me, and he's like, hey, man, how's it going? I look over and I'm like, oh, good. I'm thinking, holy crap, it's Jack Grissom, the lead singer from TSOL. And I'm like, hey, and start talking to him, end up buying him a beer. He's like, oh, it's cool. It's cool. And I'm like, no, man. So really enjoyed you guys' show. I've been listening to you guys for a long time, blah, blah, blah. And we're just sitting there talking. And just, normal stuff, music, this and that, playing in bands. I'm like, yeah, I'm a bass player. And, we're talking about that a little bit. I'm thinking, this is awesome, just hanging out with this dude. Like, nobody really knows who he is here. And this is cool. Just like two dudes sitting here, BSing about whatever life and this and that, and he's talking about, touring and being on the road all the time. And he said he just likes to, get away sometimes and chill. And I'm like, yeah, and we're just hanging out talking. And all of a sudden this dude comes up on the other side of me and he's like leaning over, he's trying to get the bartender's attention. And he kind of like glances over at us and he does like a double take. And he's like, no way, you're the dude. And I'm thinking, oh man, this cool little moment is just like being crushed by this guy now. And he's like, no way, I've always wanted to meet you, blah, 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 blah. And he's just going on. The guy had obviously had a few drinks in him already. And so he's just like rambling and just going on and on. And I'm looking at Jack and I'm like, oh man, this dude must just get sick of this. And Jack's kind of sitting there and he kind of reaches over to across me to kind of shake the dude's hand. Dude just like kind of looks at me, looks at him, and just totally blows him off. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on, man? This is just weird. And the guy like moves over from the bar and he's like comes over and he like hugs me and he's like got his arm around me and he's like, dude, I can't believe I'm finally meeting you, man. You're like, I've had your surfboards forever. You're the king of surfboards and blah, blah, blah. And I realized, oh, crap, this dude is talking about me. He has no idea who this guy next to me is, And I kind of like, I'm like being hugged around the neck by this guy. And I'm like looking at Jack and I could tell Jack's looking at me like, who in the hell is this guy? Like totally, like when he reaches over to shake his hand, just totally blew him up. Like whatever, dude, don't bug me. I'm like, so this guy's just going on and on and on and talking about surfboards, and he's had an Autry surfboard, and he's had this, and he's had, he loves them, and I've seen you surf, man, at Volano, blah, 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 blah. He's just going on and on, just rambling, drunk rambling. And finally, he's like, all right, man, I just want to say it's an honor to meet you, blah, 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 blah. I'll just let you, I'll quit bugging you and your friend here. And I'm like, man, this is awkward. So he leaves, and he's stumbling off, and I see him talking to his friends and pointing at us, and Jack's still looking at me like, who is this guy? And I said, oh yeah, man, I make surfboards. And said apparently he really likes them. And so then, that shifted to, we started talking about surfboards and stuff. And I'm just, the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking, this is awkward. This is really awkward. I'm like stoked to be like sitting here talking to this dude that, is a lead guy in one of my favorite bands at the time, and just saw him put on a just total kick-ass rock and roll show. And this guy comes up and is freaking out over me sitting right next to Jack. And I'm just like, man, this is awkward as hell. And I could tell, later on, we sat there for probably another 30 minutes just talking and stuff. And he's like, well, it's really cool to meet you. And I'm like, all right, I feel the same about you, man. But it was cool. It was just a cool conversation, hanging out, talking to him, other than the fanboy of mine who came up and crashed the whole thing. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he grabbed a pen off the bar and wanted me to autograph his t-shirt. I was just like, no, man, no. I did anyways, just to please the guy and get him to go away. But yeah, I was doing that, and I look over at Jack, and Jack's just got this look on his face like, what the yeah, totally kind of stole his moment, I think. But hey, is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, I've had a few people that have been, stoked to meet me or whatever, and, order a board, or they've had a board, and, they're really stoked, but no, I never had anybody like go that overboard. And it was a little freaky, especially like when I'm like hanging out with this guy at the bar who I just saw like blow the roof off the club. So anyways, there's my story about the true sounds of liberty. Good album. If you never heard them, check them out. They have a bunch of albums. Jack's still making music as of lately. They've disbanded, got back together, disbanded again, and got some solo stuff and some other stuff going on. So check them out. Highly recommend this album if you like that, mid to late 80s, just rock and roll. TSOL is like every album they did was a little bit different than the other one. Some people are like, they like a band to be the same, like every album. These guys, they kind of changed. Like every album they did was a little bit different, which was cool with me. I used to have pretty much all of them. And there you go. There you have it. That's my story for story time about meeting Jack Grissom from TSOL, and how awkward it became for me and for him. And the bartender was looking at both of us like, what the hell is going on? Who are these guys? So anyway, there you go. There you have it. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon if you want to be notified when I'm rambling more about more videos like such as this. And I'll try to start doing more story time videos since people seem to like those. I don't know. I'm out of here. Have a great day, great week, and stay safe out there in the weird world we're living in. All right, I'm done.